Former Cape manager sues Arsenal after being sacked for anti-Israel comments. This is from The Guardian, it's been reported in different articles online. Mark Bonnick says anti-Zionist belief should be allowed. Club told him he showed complete lack of judgment. Former Arsenal Cape manager is suing the club for unfair dismissal, alleging he was discriminated against because of his opposition to Israel. Mark Bonnick, who worked at the club from the early 2000s, alleges his dismissal was discriminatory, owing to it being based on his philosophical anti-Zionist belief. He was suspended and then sacked in December 2024 after Arsenal were alerted to a series of posts he had made on social media referring to Israel's war in Gaza. Bonnick says that his posts were not anti-Semitic. So he worked for around 20 years, let's say, and this is how he's treated. Also, as far as I'm aware, I don't know, I haven't seen his posts, but if they were anti-Semitic, I'm sure it would have been pointed out a long time ago. And if it was anti-Semitic, then Arsenal would have straight away said they were anti-Semitic, but they have not said that at the time. And we know Arsenal, the way they treated Mesut Ozil, whether they like to admit it or not, and also the way they treated Mohamed El-Neni over his support for Palestine, and things like this. So we're not surprised with Arsenal when it comes to things like this. And it shows you, not generally, employees don't treat workers as they should. Not all employees, but a lot of the time, you're just another number, and if you die tomorrow, you can be replaced and all these other things. But here it shows you he can work for them for around 2 decades, give or take, and this is how he's treated. And this is not surprising. I'm sure there's many others who perhaps maybe haven't spoken, or they don't feel like there's any point speaking because nothing's going to happen. Maybe they'll speak now, and maybe there's people in other clubs. But it shows you how much of a bad club Arsenal is in terms of the way that they treat players, in terms of people who support Palestine. And people who support Palestine should not be supporting Arsenal. Should not be going to any games. Should not be paying for any shirts or anything like that. But we see, I'm not going to name them, but some people who say they're pro-Palestinian and they say all of these things and whatever else, and then you still go to Arsenal games knowing what Arsenal, the way they've done certain things. But this should be a wake-up call to Palestinian supporters, particularly those Muslim Palestinian supporters and Muslims in general who support Arsenal. They need to cut all ties with the club. They don't need to go to any games, pay for any money, and things like this. And hopefully we find out more about this situation and what happens going forward with this individual as well as the club. I believe he's going to go to court, which will be interesting to see.